All right, so it goes without saying that this recent shooting in California at the Garlic Festival is a horrible tragedy. It really is terrible. And I can't imagine what those who were affected by it are feeling, but people really do need to learn how to not react emotionally to these types of tragedies in terms of what legislation they then advocate for. I remember listening to Christopher Hitchens once, and he said that if he had his way, he would add an amendment to the US Constitution in kind of a joking manner, but also kind of serious, stating that Congress shall make no law within 6 months following a tragedy. And he pointed out that it is during the periods of time when tragedy is on the minds of everyone in a nation, it's during these times that the worst laws are passed. Now, I think this is a great point, and there's a lot of truth to it, because if you're going to craft a law, then hysteria, high levels of emotion, and hyperbolic reactions are the last thing you want involved in the crafting of those laws. If you're going to craft a law, not that I think that's effective, but if you're going to, then you need a logical, rational, and calm, critical mind. Even with that, you're still likely to make a bad, ineffective, and counterproductive law, as most of them tend to be. But it would be even worse when exaggerated emotional responses are a part of the process. Because it wasn't more than 2 minutes after this story broke that we saw these exaggerated emotional responses. We had people calling this an epidemic, demanding that Congress act now. We do not have a gun violence epidemic in the United States. It's been shown time and time again that people generally are shocked to learn that gun violence has been on the decline for quite some time in the US. This clearly shows a disconnect between the reality of the situation and the perspective people have on the situation. And it's largely the fault of the media, 24/7 news coverage of these tragedies, and they never pull back and say, hey, look, this is terrible, but there are 327 million people in the US. Any tragedy that could realistically happen will happen given a population of that size. So just try and quell your fear and anxiety. A mass shooting is highly unlikely to be coming to your town anytime in the future. But of course, nothing like that would ever be said on the mainstream media. It's just hysteria with the intended purpose of whipping people up into a frenzy, especially when they have a recent tragedy on the mind. And then they, of course, want to get people demanding that innocent people be disarmed, innocent, peaceful people who have never and will never be a part of any innocent person's injury or death. Politicians know that they should never let a good crisis go to waste, and it's really sad to see them use these astronomically rare incidences to push an agenda of disarming the population, which, by the way, won't work. It won't do anything. Guns in and of themselves don't harm people. It's the finger attached to a crazy person that harms people. So the last thing you want to do is punish the decent, innocent, peaceful people for something a nutcase did. All political agendas and all political party allegiances aside, that just seems like basic common sense and common decency to me. Don't punish an innocent person for the actions of a crazy person. Seems rational to me. But that's it for now. Like, subscribe, and share this video, and please take it easy.